A smartphone with a 108 megapixel primary camera under 20,000 rupees might have seemed unlikely last year. But now we don't have one, we have three such devices. And it's great news for people who are looking to buy a smartphone in this price segment. The latest and most affordable in this list is the Moto G60. Now this smartphone is priced super aggressively at just 17,999 rupees, and that begs a few questions. Well, I need answers, and just to quell that curiosity, I decided to dig deeper. Hello everyone, I'm Aditya, you're watching Gadgets 360, and this is the full review of the Moto G60. Let's begin. There's loads to talk about the Moto G60, but we'll first focus on the optics as I have 108 reasons to do so. Now first up, the camera module houses three sensors: a 108 megapixel primary camera, an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle camera, and a depth sensor. The ultra wide can also be used as a macro lens, so figuratively you have 4 cameras back here. The camera app has a simple layout and the UI can be navigated easily. Daylight photos via the 108 megapixel sensor had average details, though objects at a distance were recognizable. Colors appeared washed out, and I did not find the sharpness to be adequate on magnifying photos on screen. Shots on the ultra wide angle were slightly distorted on the sides and not as good as the primary sensor. Most of the shots with full 108 megapixel resolution had better details than pixel binned ones. Close-ups were better with accurate colors and good details, while portrait shots managed edge detection swimmingly. It captures 8 megapixel macros and these have good detail. Performance in low light was average, as I found the color to be slightly off tone. The night mode does not result in a significantly brighter image, but it does fix the tone issue. As pretty as your face might be, pictures in low light via the 32 megapixel front camera are subpar. Compared to that, daylight selfies were much sharper and accurate with good edge detection in portrait mode. You get 4K recording for both the front and the rear camera with decent stabilization. It still struggles in low light, and that for me is the Achilles heel in this camera system. Overall, the Moto G60 could do with a few tweaks for better color reproduction and low light camera performance. By no means is the Moto G60 conscious of its waistline, because at 9.8 mm in thickness and 225 grams in weight, you're definitely gonna notice it while using the smartphone. There's a reason for all that bulk, but we'll talk about that later. The Moto G60 is available in a single configuration with 6GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. It comes with the power and volume buttons positioned on the right, but the dedicated Google Assistant button is hard to reach. Apart from these, the 3.5mm headphone jack, secondary microphone on the top, and a USB Type-C port are the other additions. It gets a glossy finish at the back that attracts a lot of fingerprints, and I think that the frosted champagne version should fare better thanks to the matte finish it has. It's 2021 and Moto has stuck with a rear-mounted fingerprint scanner, where most of the competition has moved to side-mounted or in-display solutions instead. Cutting corners, maybe? The display stands at 6.8 inches with Full HD Plus resolution and support for HDR10 and a 120Hz maximum refresh rate. It has fat bezels running all across the display, and the sizable punch hole can be distracting for many. The LCD display isn't as vibrant as the competition in the same price segment, and that sets the Moto G60 back a lot. The Moto G60 is powered by the Qualcomm Snapdragon 732G processor, which also powers competition such as the Redmi Note 10 Pro. Though there is limited storage capacity, those needing more storage will have to use the hybrid dual SIM tray with an option to expand up to 1 TB. The G60 ships with Android 11 and its custom MyUX on top. Motorola hasn't customized the UI, and those who like a stock Android experience will appreciate this. You also don't get a lot of bloatware pre-installed, and those who like the neat interface will definitely appreciate what the G60 offers. Motorola also claims to provide business-grade security with its ThinkShield end-to-end protection. The Moto G60 did not give me any reason to complain, and it could handle my usage quite easily. I could multitask and the phone did not show any signs of slowing down. I played Call of Duty Mobile on the Moto G60, which defaulted to the high settings for both graphics as well as frame rate and was playable without any stutter or lag. I played for 10 minutes and noticed a 3% battery drop. The Moto G60 also got warm to the touch around the camera module and the top half of the display. Remember we had talked about the extra bulk earlier, and this is where it comes from: the massive 6000 mAh battery. Motorola has bundled a 20-watt charger in the box with the Moto G60. We got to 29% in 30 minutes and 53% in an hour in our tests. Yes, it is capable of lasting for over a day without any issues, but charging time is a concern. The aggressive price tag of 17,999 rupees matches that of the Realme 8 Pro. However, there have been compromises to get the device here. The company hasn't cut corners significantly in terms of performance or the software experience. The 108 megapixel primary camera is the marquee feature of the Moto G60, but I do feel that it requires a few tweaks for improvements. At this price point, you shouldn't have really high hopes from its cameras. If you prefer an AMOLED display over LCD, the Realme 7 Pro and the Redmi Note 10 Pro are suitable alternatives over the Moto G60. Now that was my full review. What do you think about this smartphone? Well, do let me know that in the comment section down below. And as always, for all things tech, stay tuned to Gadgets360.com.